right. Hello, everybody. We're just going to jump into it because you read the title of this video, I'm sure. So, this is my Notion page. I use Notion for project and task management. I was also using it for social media management, but then I switched to Rella, which has been really helpful. But I still use Notion on the day to day, and I think a big part of why it's so effective is because of the project and task relations. How Notion, I think, best functions for me is that you have your like big projects of things you want to accomplish. And then within that project, you have all your tiny tasks, and they're organized in certain ways that make them achievable and they don't fall through the cracks. And I am such a nerd about that kind of stuff. It really holds me accountable. And I want to just do just like a quick walkthrough of like what it looks like and also like how I would use it on a day to day, because I think that's something that people don't show. Because I would say I would 50% of the time, I would say 70% of the time I use Notion on my computer just because the layout is a lot easier to read. And then I would say 30% of the time I use it on the go because it's a great idea task capture system. So let's get into it. Basically, everything falls into my daily agenda view. I look at this pretty much every day, and it's really simple. I honestly don't even look at this stuff over here. This is kind of like when I'm like really in my bag and I'm trying to prioritize like, getting my exercise in and wanting to be an overachiever. Like this is what I do. Things haven't been operating that way for honestly most of this year, but it's still a good thing I feel like to just kind of keep in mind is like, one day we're going to get back to these priorities on here. And then this is what I like to keep as my weekly routine. And it works most of the time. I still have to do some editing on some other days, but it's kind of good to like hold myself to like, okay, Monday, Tuesdays are just editing. It's not filming. Granted, I'm filming on a Tuesday, but whatever. Then Wednesdays are script writing. Thursdays, I film videos. Fridays, I also film videos, and I try and do my finance organization on Fridays as well. So here's a walkthrough. I'm going to blur out some of these names because they're clients of mine, and I want to, kind of keep that private. But the projects that I have working right now, you can kind of see underneath at the bottom here is like I have home projects, I have my music projects here, I also have my business projects, which is running wild here, and that's pretty much it. And then I have like some client work here as well. So yeah, and basically this quick access up here makes it easy for me when I'm on my phone to be able to add a new task or a short idea or content. So we'll actually just start there. Like say I have something I need to do today. So this is a button that I just click. It sets it for today's date. And I'm like, record Notion tutorial. And then all I have to do is attach it to the project, which is just for running wild. And then I click out of that, and now it is in my Tuesday list. So I'm looking at my week to kind of be like, okay, these are all the tasks I need to do. Usually I'm just looking at my list view of just today. It makes it easier for me to be like, okay, go in order of yada, yada, yada. So that's the new task button. Then the new short idea, which I am probably going to use more as just like an idea capture place. And then if I need to find inspiration for things, I'll go through my bank in Notion and then apply it to Rella. Also, I find it's helpful to have, like, I keep my descriptions and scripts and references for videos in this part of the content management system. So probably will keep that. The main thing I use is the new task because it like populates in here and then I can move stuff around. So now we get to the task list, which this is like the holy grail of pretty much my whole Notion situation. So I have like today's tasks. I have tomorrow's tasks if I need to know what's going on tomorrow. I have this week, which we looked at before. I have a week list, which I don't look at as much, But if I ever just need to like look at stuff and be like, what do I need to get done? It's kind of nice to have. I don't use it too much. The month is really helpful because there will be stretches of time when I don't look at Notion and I'm just kind of going based on memory of like, oh yeah, I need to do this, this, and this. And then usually on Mondays, I'll come back and be like, okay, I need to like go through what it says to do in Notion. And then I can be like, oh, on Friday, I was supposed to get like 5 other things done that I forgot to do. So then I'll drag them over to like today. And something that I've been doing more with my own personal management is having like higher priority levels here. So it was a conversation I had with a friend where we're both entrepreneurs, and it was just like, there's so many things you need to do as an entrepreneur that sometimes you like freeze and don't do anything on certain days. And we kind of came to the conclusion of like, if we can just do 3 things a day, that would be considered a success. So anything that's labeled high priority is part of the one of those 3 things. Because sometimes I'll have like 5 things that I need to do, and it's just very overwhelming. And so what I'll do is I'll go to like my today's view and be like, okay, I needed to get these revisions done. That's for somebody else and I need to get that done. So that was a high priority. I would consider this a pretty high priority. And then I need to also do this, and that's a pretty high priority. You know, working on this is like, it's important, but this is more timely. So that's kind of my philosophy around that. I did have my Google Calendar in here. There haven't been any good widgets. I need to probably just delete this, honestly, because I don't look at the Google Calendar in here. And then same with like my content calendar here. I probably don't need to do this. I probably should have like cleaned this up before I did this walkthrough, but you're getting the raw and real of what my Notion looks like right now. So that's my daily agenda. Now we're going to go to my homepage, which is like the nucleus of my Notion. Like the daily agenda is what I look at all the time, and I would consider it the holy grail of like what I do. But the homepage is the nucleus. So this is where I kind of keep sort of vision board stuff. This year, I try to keep it simple with manifestation, idealizing, that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to have a place where I could put my theme of the year, which is rich. And so far, I feel like I have felt rich in a lot of ways. Not as much financially as I wanted to, but I really do feel rich in knowledge, rich in love that I have for the people in my life. I feel rich in the amount of self-care I've given myself this year. I've done a lot of physical healing this year. So, and honestly, physical health is like one of I think the best ways to feel wealthy. So anyways, that's a tangent for that. So then we get into kind of, I guess just kind of like the nucleus of what I use Notion for. Granted, like, I call it the nucleus. I don't come to this page very often. I don't honestly have time to be diving into my Notion all the time. I should have done, like, I haven't done any, like, 3-month, 6-month, revisiting plans, because I've just been in like, okay, we just need to get things done. But it's nice to have this for when I'm ready to revisit certain things. Okay, so this is where I keep the main daily agenda. Then I have kind of like a self-care page here. I use it a little bit. It would be nice to use this more. My self-care hasn't been great. As much as I say, like, I've been rich in physical health. I feel like, I guess I haven't been like trying to optimize my self-care. So this is a page that I probably will revisit at a certain point. Yeah. Yeah. I did all this revision. Like I kind of updated everything at the beginning of the year as like a New Year refresh, but I haven't used it. So I probably will change it or just get rid of it. I haven't used my notebook. I guess I have used my notebook. It's tied to other workspaces. So I guess the notebook itself is right here. The meal plan and groceries, I was really proud of this when I made this. And as much as I pride myself in being like very Notion heavy, I just haven't used this page very much. I'm starting to move towards just having a binder with my recipes. And plus I like handwriting notes in there and making it feel more like tactile and like scrapbooky. So I'm probably going to actually move all of these recipes over to the binder and probably not have this. Maybe I'll do a walkthrough of this in case anybody's interested in like really optimizing your grocery plan, but I'm not doing that very much anymore. This I just updated and I'm pretty excited about this. So this is my guitar practice like page. So with being an intermediate guitar player, and also I don't have like regular lessons right now with anybody, I am in charge of like holding myself accountable for practicing. This summer, I have not been a very good guitar player in terms of practicing. I was really good the first, I would say 4 or 5 months. I was doing really well. I feel like I really progressed. And then I was traveling a lot this summer, so my practice routine kind of went out the window. But refreshing this page was a way to get back into practicing. So I have a session log database, and then I have a song and repertoire tracker database. So basically, if you don't know what a database is, it's just a place that holds your information. So if I am doing a practice session today, I would just hit new, and the default page that's set is daily practice. And so it already populates okay, here's your practice routine based on what you're working on right now. Because that's what I have set as the default template when you hit new, to explain that. So then it's nice. I just have a checklist of things to get through. And then I can have a session wrap up of, what were some wins? What were some things I still need to work on? What's tomorrow's focus? And again, my routine of practicing hasn't been there, so I haven't been using this as much, but I feel very excited for when practicing does become daily again, and I can really keep track of okay, we're getting better. We're feeling good about this. And then the song repertoire is also good. So I want to start a series of playing musical theater Disney songs on guitar. I feel like I don't see that very much, and I love musical theater. So I feel like that would be a good challenge for me as a musician to learn these songs on guitar. So I've been working on Strangers Like Me, which has been really fun. It's different. It's multiple rhythms in one hand. So that's a new challenge for me. So I'm still learning it. I feel like I have a good handle. Basically, it's just you keep track of the name of the song, current focus, the sections learned, the artist, and the status of the song. And that's pretty much it. And then it's nice to have this current focus because then you can remember oh yeah, I was trying to focus on that. Next we get into Dream Life, this section. And again, haven't revisited this since the beginning of the year. So I'll just walk you through what I put together at the beginning of the year and we'll see how it looks. These have been Looking at these goals is crazy. Like, this is what I was really trying to do. Oh, I did actually do this. I did buy the Nikon Z6 III. So, I guess, do I add like a checklist? I see it. I haven't visited this. So I think I actually am going to add like I'll add a select, I guess. And like, we'll just add like a status. This was a good change of pace from what I had before. I had multiple pages in 2025, like year, like goals. And it, again, didn't visit it. But I think it's good to have a page like this where it's like it helps you remember the big things you're like working towards. And so this is in progress. I'll change that. So there's kind of like the list view of this, and then I have it as like a vision board almost. Maybe I should use this more. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe I should use that more. Dream self. I feel like this is a lot for me. I feel like this would be good to revisit every few months just to be like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is who I want to be, or like the dream version of myself, and like, what does she do? And like, I do think that there is something powerful in writing out like what you want your ideal self to do, and then having those written down so you can remember like, oh yes, this is who I want to be more aligned with. So, excuse me. I haven't looked at this. So that would be good to revisit, I think, every few months. Ultimate bucket list. Haven't looked at this. Kind of similar to like the vision board for the year. It's like, oh, here are things that, you know, I want to do more. Oh my gosh. We kind of did do this. We are cat sitting for my friend Simon, and he's traveling, and we don't know when he's coming back, honestly, except for our wedding next year. We don't know what his plans are, so we kind of did get a cat. We're godparents to a cat. I should put a picture of Misty in there. But yeah. So, easy bucket list. Theo and I, when we first started actually hanging out, we weren't even dating. It was just like hanging out. We made a list of things to do together. And that's what this list is. It's, you know, it's special. It's like a nice time capsule for like all the things that we've done. We haven't updated it in a while, so, but we'll revisit that. Inspiration. I wish I used this more, because sometimes you save things on the internet and it gets lost so easily in like playlists. And I'm a really big believer in like curating your own digital garden, and having this to me feels like a digital garden of sorts. And so these have been like some talks that have really inspired me over the years that I always like to revisit from time to time. Now we get into like second brain stuff, which is really helpful for like planning and home management stuff. So, yeah, this is my home management page. All right. So for whatever reason, the camera just stopped. What I was getting into though, for home management is the first example of like a workspace setup. And I feel like that is where the project and task functions, you really get to see them overlap. So like home management is the project, tasks obviously are the tasks. But the nice thing about having like a page for this is it contains everything else that you need to know for that project that isn't necessarily a task. So like we use Home Assistant for home automation, so it's nice to have a link to that there. I need to update Photo Prism because we don't use that anymore for like our home photo collection service. We use, I think, Image now. Again, a lot of this is stuff I need to update because I don't use this as much, but it's very handy to have. It's very, very handy to have. Okay. So, and then at the bottom here is like lists and plans and stuff. And actually this has been really helpful for remembering certain things. So I have like my friends listed here. I have their birth dates here, favorite desserts here. But then you click on inside these pages and it has like personal details about them that help, like a known traveler number for Theo, stuff like that. But yeah, so I also I like kind of keeping my readings here from time to time if I want to remember things, house projects, earthship plans, cookie box setups, stuff like that. So, and then we have travel planning. You can have like your trips planned here. You can have, packing lists that are easy to like check and uncheck. If we go camping, all the things we want to bring for camping. So, like this was the Gatlinburg trip where it had like our cabin info and the itinerary. We got engaged. I must have put that in after. But like meal planning and along with like packing and stuff we want to do and like things we want to remember to do and like a map of where we went and all that stuff. So now we're getting into like the workspaces I pretty much use on the daily. I have like my first 3 are like projects for me, and then I have pages for other clients that I've done. So I think we'll look at Running Wild Productions and kind of see what the page is looking like these days. This is the workspace, and I have a template for the workspace where it's like you have quick access at the top here. Then you get into your tasks here that are tied to this project. And then you have like easy navigation stuff of like, I have templates here. I have shot list templates, just kind of things I need to keep track of for the business. Then I have like formats to remember to keep in mind when I'm making content. Idea machine, just like things to help generate ideas for stuff. I need to update this content calendar because it's not serving what it was originally intended to. If anything, I probably just need to keep this. So I have this is like a brain dump section of ideas for like, oh yeah, I could make this and I could make this. And then this strategy call out is also attached to every workspace. So you have like your mood board, brand guide, notes, resources, and then client work. So mood board, I need to update this for Running Wild because this was for a different artist I was doing some work for. But it helped with like the theme and the archetype of the brand, the aesthetic of the brand, the style of the people working with the brand, graphics. It's just kind of nice to have all that in one place. Brand guide, which I don't love how this is laid out. So I want to try and find, I probably want to do like a board view of all of this stuff. So redoing this is on the docket for sure. Notes, which is really helpful for when, what did I write here? Monthly workflow. I honestly don't remember what that was tied to. I didn't even put a date. Notes for like, I feel like if you have meetings, it's nice to have like a notes section you can always go to. Especially if you're getting notes from like Zoom meetings, you can kind of copy and paste those AI notes into here and you can keep track of everything here versus like having to sift through emails and stuff. Resources, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to use the resource page for. It's like what I want Running Wild to be is like a place to educate artists on how to build a brand and tell a story and make the visuals cohesive with the music. And Neighborhood Art Supply is someone I've been following this year, and I might have started following them last year. And they have a good framework for breaking down how to build a following, branding, yada, yada, yada. And then I keep track of like client stuff here too. So I have like some mood boards for like a couple songs that I did some work on. And then, so you'll see in here, and this is something I still haven't quite figured out yet, But you can see that there's the task name here and then the project or client here. So if you click on the project, it does take you to like the tasks within that project, but I wish it took you to the project page. I think just because of like how links are set up, it like, I don't think that's a thing you can do. If it is, let me know, because that would be really sick. And yeah, so that's like the only thing I wish was a little cleaner. But you know, I still have my workspaces tied to my favorites. Again, the daily agenda is pretty much the easiest thing to wrap your head around and to utilize. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This is a very messy walkthrough of my Notion. It's not perfect, and that's part of it, because you have to figure out what works for you, what you actually use it for, because maybe I should have done a cleaned up version of this, but I feel like it's more helpful to see where things get messy. So then, you know, you can figure out how to optimize it for you so it's not as messy. Notion is one of those things you kind of have to like play around with. So that's just a rough walkthrough of my Notion page. I am going to do another walkthrough of just the workspace and daily agenda views, so I can show a better example of like tasks and project management with just those two templates, because I think that's really all you need to get started. So I probably rambled enough in this video. Thanks for watching. And maybe I'll do some like building Notion pages too, just for fun. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one.